Forget 2025, I'm serious, because 2026 is shaping up to be one of the most ridiculously diverse and exciting years in gaming we have seen in a long time. I'm talking about tactical horror shooters where you can be the monster, narrative adventures about K-pop idols and North Korean spies, puppet boxing games with a soundtrack by Flying Lotus. Yeah, it gets weird, and it gets awesome. Alex here, what's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving deep into the future. We've got a massive list of 14 incredible looking, primarily single player games slated for 2026 that you absolutely need to have on your radar for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox. So grab your notebook, open up that Steam Wishlist, and let's get into it. Kicking things off with something to get your heart pounding. This is Beautiful Light, and it's a PvP VPVE tactical extraction shooter. Now, I know what you're thinking, another extraction shooter, but hang on, because this one has a terrifying twist. So you've got 6 squads of 3 operators dropping into these hostile, horror-filled maps to grab some mysterious artifact. You're fighting other players, sure, but the E in PvP VPVE is where it gets interesting. You're also facing player-controlled monstrous anomalies. Let me repeat that. Player-controlled monsters. Can you imagine you're in a tense firefight with another squad, low on ammo, and suddenly your buddy gets dragged into the vents by something that's being controlled by another human player with a cruel sense of humor? This sounds like Escape from Tarkov and Hunt Showdown had a baby, and that baby was raised by H.P. Lovecraft. Built on Unreal Engine 5, it looks gorgeous and terrifying in equal measure. This one drops in December 2026 on PC with consoles to follow. Get your squad ready, you're gonna need them. Alright, let's leave the dark, terrifying planet behind and blast off into the final frontier with SpaceKraft. Developed by Shiro Games, this is an online space exploration and building game. If you're a fan of games like Factorio or Satisfactory, but you've always wished you could automate your production lines across an entire galaxy, this is for you. You start with a basic ship and a mining laser, classic, and from there it's all about exploring, mining, crafting, and building. The hook here is the interplanetary logistics. You're not just building a factory, you're building a galactic empire of supply chains. Need a resource from planet X to build a new engine on planet Y? You've got to set up that whole network. It's got that cozy creative vibe, but on a massive scale. It hits early access in 2026, and while it requires an online connection, you can totally play it solo. This looks like the kind of game you could lose hundreds of hours to. Now, if you're looking for a story that will grab you and not let go, get ready for Mudang, Two Hearts. And the premise for this one is, well, it's one of the most unique pairings I've ever heard of. You play as 2 different protagonists. On one hand, you have Ji Jung-tae, an elite North Korean Special Forces operative. Think Solid Snake. On the other hand, you have Gavi, a K-pop idol living under constant surveillance. I'm not kidding. A super soldier and a pop star, caught up in a political conspiracy in a near-future Korea on the brink of reunification. The gameplay promises to be a seamless blend of cinematic storytelling, stealth, and all-out combat, letting you choose your approach. The developers are saying there are no loading screens between cutscenes and gameplay, which is always a huge plus for immersion. This is one of those high-concept games that could either be a masterpiece or just weird. But honestly, I'm so here for it. It's coming in 2026 for PC, PS5, and Xbox. Speaking of high concept, how about we mix Arthurian legend with modern-day London? That's Tides of Annihilation. An otherworldly invasion has fractured the city, merging it with the mythical land of Avalon, and you play as Gwendolyn, London's sole survivor. But she's not alone. She gains the power to summon spectral versions of the Knights of the Round Table to fight alongside her. The dual frontline battle system lets you command up to 4 knights at once, switching between them to chain together insane combos. It looks like a character action game like Devil May Cry, but with a tactical party-based twist. The visuals are stunning. Seeing a warped fantasy version of London with giant colossal knights you can climb is just chef's kiss. This is a single-player action adventure that looks ambitious as hell. From the creators of Warframe Digital Extremes comes something completely different, Soulframe, And let me be clear, this is not Warframe in a fantasy skin. This is a slower, more methodical, and nature-focused open-world RPG. The devs have cited influences like Elden Ring and Ghost of Tsushima, and you can totally see it in the deliberate, weighty combat and the emphasis on environmental storytelling. The whole game is themed around nature, restoration, and a world rebelling against industry. It's been in pre-alpha for a while, and while there's no hard and fast release date, all signs are pointing towards a potential 2026 launch. For anyone who loves the idea of a more hopeful, less bleak fantasy world to explore, Soulframe is definitely the one to watch. Now, if you want your fantasy a little more grounded and gritty, Pearl Abyss, the team behind Black Desert Online, is finally dropping Crimson Desert on March 19th, 2026. And again, despite the developer's MMO route, this is a narrative-driven, single-player, open-world action-adventure. You play as a mercenary named Cliff, navigating a war-torn continent. What's getting everyone hyped here is the combat. It's this incredible blend of combo-based attacks, grappling, and environmental interactions. You can see Cliff literally picking up one enemy and throwing him at another. It looks incredibly dynamic and satisfying. Plus, you can do everything from climbing and gliding to fishing and solving puzzles. It's got that massive live-in-it-world feel that Pearl Abyss is known for, but all focused on a single-player story. You guys keeping up? We're only halfway through. If you're enjoying this look at 2026, do me a solid and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. All right, let's get back to it.
Let's get spooky again. The Mound, Omen of Cthulhu, is a co-op survival horror game for up to 4 players. You're explorers looking for treasure in a cursed jungle, but this is a Lovecraftian game, so you know things are going to go horribly, horribly wrong. The enemies here don't just attack you physically, they attack your sanity, causing hallucinations and distorting reality itself. This is the kind of game where you won't be able to trust your own eyes, or your friends. Perfect for a game night where you want to end up screaming at each other. Okay, a bit of a cheat here because this one is actually targeting a 2027 release, but it was on the list and it's just too cool not to mention. Legacy of Valor is for anyone who has ever wanted to build their own castle, manage a town, and lead their armies into massive strategic battles. It's a medieval RPG with a huge focus on management and large-scale combat. It's running on Unreal Engine 5 and aims to make you feel like a true lord of your own domain. Keep an eye on its development because this one looks like a true gem for strategy and RPG fans. Alright, let's shift gears from epic battles to something deeply personal and nostalgic. This is Mixtape, from the creators of the absolutely fantastic The Artful Escape. The entire game is structured around a mixtape soundtrack, with each song triggering a dreamlike memory or vignette. One minute you're skateboarding, the next you're escaping the cops, the next you're at a party having an awkward conversation. The gameplay is constantly changing to match the vibe of the song and the memory. It features music from D.Evo, The Smashing Pumpkins, Roxy Music. It's pure, unfiltered, coming-of-age movie vibes, and it looks incredibly heartfelt and stylish. Plus, it's a day one launch on Game Pass. And now for something completely, wonderfully, bizarrely different. This is Felt That Boxing. It's an arcade boxing game where everyone is a puppet. You play as a soft-hearted puppet named Fuzz E. Wright, fighting in a tournament to save his orphanage. The visual style is inspired by real-life puppetry. The physics are hilariously chaotic, and the soundtrack is being composed by the legendary Flying Lotus. This is the definition of a passion project with a unique vision. It's pure, joyful absurdity, and I cannot wait to play it. El Presidente is back! Tropico 7 is coming in 2026, and it's bringing some huge new features to the beloved Dictator Simulator series. The biggest one? Terraforming. You can now literally reshape your island to create your perfect banana republic. They're also adding a political council to negotiate with factions and revamping the military system for more tactical control. It's everything fans love about Tropico. The humor, the city building, the questionable decrees, but deeper and with more freedom than ever. And yes, it's also a day one launch on Game Pass. Feeling a little overwhelmed? Need to just chill out? Outbound is here for you. This is the ultimate van life simulator. You customize your van camper, turning it into a mobile, sustainable home. You explore a beautiful open world, scavenge for resources, craft modular parts for your van, and generate your own power with solar and wind. It's a cozy, relaxing game you can play solo or with up to 4 friends in co-op. This looks like the perfect game to unwind with after a long day. And finally, we're ending on a loud, hilarious, and very weird note. High on Life 2 is officially coming on February 13th, 2026. From the mind of Justin Roiland and Squanch Games, this sequel expands on everything that made the first game such a surprise hit. The talking alien guns, the bizarre humor, and the fast-paced shooting are all back, but now with bigger, more open zones to explore, denser hub cities, and an enhanced movement system for skating and combo attacks. The story involves a bounty being placed on your sister's head and a conspiracy involving an evil pharmaceutical company. It sounds exactly as wild as you'd expect. If you love the first game, this looks like a bigger, better, and even more unhinged sequel. And, breathe. Wow.